Alright, let's get this thing going. Shout out to Jetpacks and Roller Skates on Instagram. Make sure to check them out. So let's go ahead and change this to a matte cap. We're going to do this nice purple, I think, today. Okay, so looks like it's on post-process. Let's turn this down. Maybe it's not. Make sure I'm using the right one. Oh, I am. Alright, so first I'm thinking the helmet or maybe the skull is probably better. Okay, so if we're thinking the skull, let's make sure we're in orthographic. And let's make this a little smaller. Alright, we'll just make that a little smaller. Alright. So for this skull, I think I'm just going to use symmetry on this sphere. Okay, that looks about right. This is that's a tight angle, so I just want to make sure I get that kind of right. Let's smush it a little bit. And the top, I feel like the top of the skull would be quite round. Alright, so something like that. What's up, Daniela? Nice to see you. Just working out this random, I'm not sure how I want to do this skull. I feel like there's probably an easier way to do it. So I'm gonna try that. I always hate when I have to like just completely redo something, but I think I'm going to try something different. I think I'm just going to use a line. Maybe do something like that. I think that's a little better. You know, I don't even need another sphere. So let's take, actually I will use spheres. I'm going to use 3 spheres for the front bit. Okay, so something like that. I'll clone this and mirror it. That's pretty good. Okay, it's not too bad. I think they're a little big. Okay, so I need to take move, I think, and move this down. Sometimes it's like really simple things that take a long time to really get right. And that's just the nature of it. I'm going to use round edge. If you don't have round edge, you can check out my recent video for the round edge tool if you don't have it. Why is this? Oh, this is the default sphere, isn't it? I hate the default sphere. Let's remesh it. Hopefully I can just smooth it out. Box will remesh it lower. Oh, and smooth shading is probably on, which I hate. I mean, it's probably off. I want it on. What's up, Jelly M? Good to see you. Let's move this back up. Oh. And then try to smooth it. I just want it to be smooth, that's all. Not asking for too much. Alright, that's a little better. It's a little better. Gotta make sure I smooth off these sides. Okay, let's use move and let's pull this middle part down some. And I kind of want to round this out a little bit. Move these down. Make them a little smaller, I think. Actually, I have to, let's do pivot center. No, it won't center. Butt monkey. Okay, let's make these a little smaller. What's up, Chris Duke? Nice. I'm using a 12.9 inch iPad. I'm using a 2022 iPad Pro, just like regular, 256 gigs, nothing too crazy, and it's great. I love it. I actually really liked my 2001 M1 MacBook Pro. I thought that was pretty great too, but I wound up giving it to my nephew. But I don't think you can go wrong. I would say if I could get a bigger screen, I would. 100%. If I could get a bigger screen, I would. I don't know if I want these to be spheres. You know what? Let's just voxel remesh them together and let's see what we have. But yeah, I would always get a bigger screen. Oh, I keep doing that. I changed my configuration around a little bit, so smooth used to always be over here, so I have to get used to its new position. Well, hopefully I get used to it. Okay, that's not bad. Now, do we want, I don't think I want this, okay, I think I know. I think I understand what I want. So let's make a cylinder, and I want to make the cylinders here. We'll just use Boolean. But maybe we'll do all the shapes at once. I'm not sure. I don't think I want this. I don't think I want the black in the eyes going all the way through. Yeah, you know, if they had a bigger iPad, I would get it, because I would just have an iPad that would just be stationary here. Because you know, I mean, I'm just used to using iPads, and I would just have it stationary here, and I would just use this for travel, because I know that it would come in useful. So I think a bigger screen would just be for what I do. Like, I'm always like, you know, especially I'm always filming and things like that. I think it's worth it for me to have the bigger iPad. But I'm more than happy to stick with this. It's just fine. Okay, so excuse me. Big old eyes. I was gonna start this stream a little bit earlier, but I was since I had to reset my iPad recently, I had to. Sometimes there's files that I want to open in Blender so I can do really nice turntables. Just because I already have like videos, like time lapses of them, but I want to. But since I just reset everything, I had to send everything to my computer, so now I can't just like easily see what the files are. I have to. Okay, let me figure out where these eyes are gonna go. I think maybe here. No, I feel like it's over. I feel like if it's in the front, I'm gonna have to do a little test, a little testy poo. So let's mirror this, and let's just see how this looks. So let's do a quick save. So for this mirror, I'm just gonna validate. This will just be a test. Hide it, and then I'll do a Boolean. That actually doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. What's up, Kasumi? Hi, Dave. You've taught me so much about Nomad Sculpt. Thanks to your Skillshare and YouTube channels. Thanks for being amazing. I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, thank you so much for being so sweet and saying such nice things. I appreciate it. I get slightly shy when I have to read it out loud, but thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna start trying to do a lot more lives because it's just easier for me to manage my time, I think. Because if I'm not doing lives, then I think I start spending a little too much time editing and trying to get them perfect. Oh, you know what? So I want to make these back into mirrors so I can move them around and have some flexibility. So I'm just going to take off symmetry and trim one of them, and then just add a mirror again. Because sometimes I want a little more flexibility, and I think I might want them a little closer together. Okay, so we'll leave them there for now, and these will be, I'll then name this IX, and usually I name things X when I know I want to delete them. So this is going to be the skull. I gotta get a move on. So since we're going to do the Boolean, we might as well, actually we should figure out the back of this thing. What do we want the back of this thing to look like? So firstly, I think it needs to be a little more oblong back here. Oblong. I don't use that word every day, but some days. Okay, I kind of like this. I kind of want to flatten. I feel like I want to flatten this a little bit. I don't know why. I just feel like the sides need to be flattened a bit. Let's smooth this out. Oh, this is already 121K. That's crazy. But that's okay. Because it's on a little bit of a slant. How do these look? I think they look alright. I could have used cylinders too. Cylinders might have been a more design smart way to go about doing these. Why do they look so lumpy? because I kind of want them a little bit, I'm a stickler for like the smallest little details. That's better, that's what I want. I just want them to be a little bit more round. Okay, that's a little bit better. I can deal with that. And I think I might just push them a little bit. Just give them a little push. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So that looks good. So now I need to do this little heart-shaped thing. What's the easiest way to do that? Probably another cylinder. And again, if anyone knows how to turn smooth shading on by default for everything, I would love to know. I'm gonna have to ask that in the Facebook group, I think. I'm sure it's probably some like silly setting, but I hate that it's not on. So let's just stretch this. Can't really see it. Let me move it up so you can see what I'm doing. So I want the bottoms to be round. So let's think for a minute here. So I'm just going to go ahead and validate it, and then I'll use symmetry to get the bottom round. So I'm going to put on show line so I can see the symmetry line. So I do want left and right, and I think I want, front and back. So I think that's Z. Is it Z? Oh, I have to put it on a local so I can see it on the local shape. Nope. Y. Okay. So that way when I move it, it's going to match front to back. But another thing that I always do is I try to make it thin when I'm doing this. Otherwise, sometimes the middle doesn't move kind of in unison with the rest of it. So let's move, and let's just make the bottom of this a little bit more round. Try not to move the other stuff too much, but inevitably you kind of have to. Okay, I think that's probably good enough. It's not straight, but that's okay. Let's turn smooth shading off, on. Whatever, I'll leave it on. Okay, I'll leave it off. So this is fine. I think this will work. So let's go ahead and put this in a mirror. And I'll just make the little nose thing. Whoops, I just moved the whole mirror instead of the cylinder inside the mirror. Let's take snap off. Okay, so it looks like I made it a little too round, so I'm just going to stretch it this way. I'll shrink the whole thing. I think that looks like a match. So we'll validate that. Nose X. Whoop. Keep doing that. So now I'll move this down and just sort of match this size. Oh, and now we can also stretch it out too. So we're gonna do Boolean cuts for all these, which is just a way that I can make these shapes inside, or cut these shapes out and just have a lot of control over it. Okay, so it's about in the middle of the eye, so let's move it down a little bit. And it's actually a little bit more stout. Feels about right. Yeah, I think that feels good. So I'll put it fairly deep in there. In these I might move. I'm just going to take this out of the mirror so that I can do pivot, center, pivot. And then I'm going to take the pivot and I'm going to adjust it so that I can push these deeper into the head. I'm not actually sure how deep I made them. Okay, that seems good. So now when I take pivot, I can just move, let's see. Well, let's use X-ray. I really like X-ray. Oh, the only danger is, oh good, it's not hitting the nose at all. So I think that's good. I think that's a good depth. I don't think it needs to be that deep. So now that I know that's working, I can put this back in the mirror and they're both good to go. So we do have some other situations here though. So maybe it's a smart idea to make those as well. So we just have these cool little things, and I think a good way to make that is to use the cylinder and stretch it. So let's do that. What's up, Gray? Yeah, gotta go to sleep. Get that sleep. I just tapped the settings cog and see smooth shading at the top. Is that what you're looking for? Or are you saying that is what you have to keep turning on? I have to keep turning it on? Okay, let me see. I just tapped the settings cog and I see smooth shading. Let's see. Smooth shading. So if I turn it, oh, well, let me see here. That might be it. That might be what I needed. So if I add a new sphere, hopefully it's on by default. Oop. Well, actually, let's add something we need. Okay, we turn the cylinder up, and we're just going to use snap and turn it this way, and it looks like smooth shading is on. Okay, good. So now smooth shading is on by default. Shout out to Chris Duke for literally saving my sanity. I appreciate it. That's another great thing about lives. The hive mind, all of us together, is always going to be the smartest thing. So I appreciate it. Pavel, thanks so much for the good vibes. I appreciate it. What's up, Wiltive? No, you're not too late. I just started. Good night, Gray. Good luck in school tomorrow. Gotta get that sleep. What's up, Kasimu? Or Kasumi? 6 a.m. here in Scotland, and I have tea and I'm ready to learn. I love it. That's so awesome. I really wish that YouTube allowed people to like send in. I mean, I guess I can understand why they wouldn't do this, but like it would be so great if I could like, if you guys could all like, I don't know, like I just, send a photo of like your setup or like your tea or something like that. That would be so cool. What's up, Adamatsu you? Dave, how do you color it? So if I was to color it really quick, so right now I'm in a matte cap because it's easier to sculpt for me because it's just like clay, but I would change it to lit PBR. That's number 1. So then it's white. You tap on what you want to color. You tap on this little thing. If you're using like a cell phone, you might have to like scroll, but you tap on this little sphere with the line through it. Tap on the color. There's your color. Tap on the color, and then hit paint all, and then it's colored. But let's go back to matte cap. Okay. What's up, Ritzy? Just started my sculpting journey. Look forward to learning and creating art. Yes, I love it. Oh, this isn't a mirror. I could tell. Whenever you tap something and it has that weird look, then you know it's in a mirror. So let me take this out. Let's do a quick save. And so what I want to do is make these little, and I'm going to have to use this over and over again because there's actually a bunch of these. I'm not sure if trimming, if I can get it that clean. I might be able to, but I'm not sure. But for the skull, I want to make it the mark in the skull. So I think a Boolean is the best way to do that as well. So we'll take this cylinder and let's go to the cylinder and let's just validate it. Let's shrink it. Sometimes I go really slow when I start to think too much. So we'll just bring it to the front. Okay, I don't think it matters the tilt that these are on. I I guess I can tilt this a little bit as well once we have the size. So it's fairly small, like this. And we want to add it. So it's essentially going to be there, but let's stretch it first. So let's take, okay, show line is on. Let's just go ahead to local, and let's find the right symmetry. We want to stretch it up and down, so it looks like we want, there we go, looks like we want blue. So we can stretch it. So anytime you need to stretch something in a better way than this, because that is like ugly. So you make sure you're using the right symmetry, which is you want to be pulling in the opposite ways. So you want to make sure that the line is in the middle of whatever way you want to pull. That's probably confusing as heck. But let's see, symmetry, vertex, vertex. So now it should give me one of these. So let's let's see. Sometimes you can shrink it. There's certain things that you can't do. It'll look funny. But this looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and clone this really quick in case I need another one, so I don't have to make it again. Okay, so this is going to be another cut in the skull, so I want to kind of line it up with this. Let's turn snap off. I kind of want to line it up. Oh, see, I tried to rotate it and it's still kind of messed up. So I need to take it off symmetry and put this back to auto, and it should react normally again now. Oh, gotta be careful though. I wonder why the symmetry, why the pivot center, let's see, let me think here. Pivot is good, so why didn't it, it's not a line. Cylinder, oh, there we go. I felt as though it wasn't, the symmetry wasn't moving with it, but now it is. Okay, so we kind of want these to be sort of lined up a bit. But if I'm looking at it graphically, this is like over here. It's turned and that's going like sort of straight up. So I think this is what I want. But maybe I should test it out first. I want it a little thinner. So I'm going to clone this just to make the little tiny one that's next to it. So I'll move it up. I'll shrink this really small, maybe make it a little fatter. Oh, I think something like that might be pretty good. It's in a good spot. Let's check out X-ray so we can kind of see the depth. And it's not even touching. Look at that. It's not even touching. What a rascal. Okay, so I think that should work. Let's look at X-ray again. This looks like it might need to go in a little bit more. Okay, so I think that might work. Let's check out the nose. The nose is in fairly deep. Maybe I'll make it a little bit deeper. Okay, nice. So let's turn off X-ray. I think this looks pretty good. Everything else, all the other cosmetic stuff for the skull, we'll just do it. We'll just do it afterwards. So let's do a quick save, and let's just do a Boolean cut. So we have the cylinder and the cylinder, so these can both be hidden, but we'll select them. We have the skull, so we'll select that, and we have the nose, we'll select that. Oh, we have the eyes. Let's validate them. Let's select all of these except for the cylinder, which we'll probably just get rid of. So we want to hide those. Anything we want a Boolean cut, we hide. And if you ever have a problem with that, like if you ever have issues and it won't let you like select something, go to advanced and uncheck sync visibility. Because if you have sync visibility, which is on by default, things get really annoying and it won't let you do what you need to do. Okay, nose X can go, eyes can go, so these should all make, let's do a quick save just in case, and then let's voxel remesh this. We'll do it at like 200. Oh, not remesh. Let's Boolean cut. Where is it? Boolean. Okay, oh, that looks good, but we have some weird thing happening here. Okay, so what it looks like to me is these cylinders. I think I'm going to join them. I think I'm going to subdivide them. So multi-res and subdivide. They might be a little bit too small. So the nose, I'm going to let's unhide it. Let's voxel remesh it. Sometimes if you let's just voxel remesh the nose. We'll voxel remesh the eyes too. Let's unhide them and see what they look like. They're fine. It might even be worth it to just turn smooth shading off for the eyes. Okay, so let's see what we get now. Skull, everything else is hidden, so let's Boolean. It's a little bit better. So the only thing is I kind of want these to be... I wish I didn't join them, actually. If I didn't join them, I would make them deeper, but I did join them. So I think we'll just leave it. We can always paint them black inside. I think that's good for the skull. Okay. What's up, Koro? A little crack, a sausage? All right. I wasn't here in the beginning, so why is it protruding? Prep for cutting it out. Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, just got to do those booleans. What's up, Sketchnificent? I like that. Okay, this looks good. I hate those edges. I wish it was cleaner. I really do. Let's see what happens if we remesh it again. I'm just curious what happens. We remesh it at like 293. Oh, kind of cleaned them up a little bit. Kind of cleaned them up a little bit. What happens if I smooth all this with symmetry on? Just curious. It's not bad. Yeah, I feel like it's just so high. Like even like, let's see if I change this to 300,000, 250,000. Sometimes I like to play around with the quad remesher and just kind of see what happens. Oh, remeshing failed. Oh, I know why it failed. Let's turn this off. You better not fail this time. Do you guys use the quad remesher? I do see the benefit of it, although I don't, I'm not doing stuff for like games. I do, I like to animate, do some small animations, but it's still pretty ugly. So we'll just go back and leave it alone. Actually, it looks better. Yeah, it looks... We'll leave it like that for now. Let me check smooth shading. It's on, off. Ooh, it looks better off. Groovy. Groovy. Okay. Let's do a quick save. I like that. So now next piece is... I guess we should do the helmet. So what shape is this? So it's sort of like a sphere, but not. So let's add a sphere, and we'll make it bigger. And then I just need to figure out what the best It's almost like, oh, you know what it's like? Okay, I think I got it. You got to get the shape. You got to figure out what the shape is. So I think it might be a cylinder. So cylinder, kind of like this, but the bottom is kind of like this. Right? I think that's like pretty close. I think that's pretty close. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and validate it. Yeah, let's just validate it. And so cylinder and sphere. Let's voxel remesh these together. We'll use, I'll just use regular smooth, I think. Regular smooth will do the trick. And I'm going to voxel remesh it lower, only because I don't think it needs to be crazy size, and I want it to be really, really smooth. So sometimes I go up and down. I voxel remesh higher and lower. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Wait, what is that? Oh, that's the freaking sphere. I forgot all about that. But that's okay. We can just trim it. So I'll use rectangle with trim. I always use rectangle with trim, and we'll just trim the bottom. We'll voxel remesh it again. Bottom looks good. Yeah, the benefits are it just cleans up the topology. I don't usually look at the topology, but for example, this is like so much. So this is what's making this mesh 90,000 vertices. It doesn't have to be 90,000 vertices. So I can go here, I can go to miscellaneous, and I can decimate, and it will make it smaller. So if I see now it's 11.2, it was 90. If I turn this off, it still looks the same. So that's like kind of the name of the game. Nomad is for sculpting, so like I'm not that concerned with it, but it does pay in the end to have a smaller file. Everything works better. If you send it to other software, it works better. The only problem is this isn't optimal topology. So the size is small, and this would be fine for like what I'm using for making renders, for 3D printing. It doesn't matter. But since I do bring things to Blender and I want everything to be as efficient as possible, now it's back to 90. I can use quad remesher, and right now it's 90. So let's just put in 90K, and we'll remesh it. Oh, I had symmetry on. God, it's so annoying. Turn that off. So what quad remesher does is it tries to do a better job with it. It doesn't really look like it did a better job. Let's change this to 30K. And hopefully it does a better job. Okay, well, it's still terrible. But as you can see, it's trying to, I don't know why it's not really working that well. But yeah, that's what it does. It'll, yeah, for some reason this is like really messed up here in the median point, and I'm not really sure. I actually have no idea why that's so messed up. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's just weird. But anyway, we'll go back. Let's go back to right after I trimmed it. I trimmed it, and then what did I do? I voxel remeshed it. Anyway. Okay, so I think it might be cool to have, nah, I don't think, maybe I don't want glass. It'd be kind of cool to have glass there. Okay, so we have this ring here that's on the inside, but you can see through it. So I'm not sure if I want to see through it or if I just want to make it a solid piece. So I think it's probably the best idea, or the best, oh, there was something I wanted to do first. I wanted to do move and take the helmet and make it a little bit more round. Wait, how is symmetry not on? Symmetry is always on. Make it more round up here. And more round here. Let's just take a look at the side view. I just want to make sure that it's like round, sufficiently round. Okay, oh, I feel like I might need to like stretch it a little bit too. Okay, maybe that works. If we take a look at X-ray, oh, we can't even see anything. So I need to make this little shape to do a cutout. So maybe I'll just use a sphere. So I'm probably just going to do this with more Booleans. I think the best way to do it is with a sphere, but I'm not exactly sure. Let's just validate it, and let's see if I can make the shape. I might need to do the same exact thing that I did before. I might need to use a I don't know. I mean, it looks fairly decent. And I would just trim, so I can trim the back. Let's turn smooth shading off for this. And then let's grab with a mask, or a select mask. Oh, not lasso. We'll just grab this and stretch this out. And then we can clear it, and then I can just trim the front so that we have that shape. I mean, I think that looks decent. So it's probably somewhere like here, maybe a little smaller. The bottom part does look like it needs to maybe come out a little bit. So I think before it was X, and was it Z? Local. Yep, X and Z. So I want to try to get it as close as possible. So I want to try to bring the bottom part out a bit more. I can't get like the bottom, the very, very bottom is like hard to get the angle I want. It's tricky. But I think that will have to do. So we'll make it a little bit smaller. Well, let's just see if this works. So there's this. So this is the front shape where the opening is. But the other thing we have to do is make the whole thing hollow. So this will be the front X. This is the helmet. What is this? I don't know what that is. So let's clone the helmet and name one helmet X. So we'll take helmet X. Let's use X-ray. And, oh, wait a minute. Oh no, okay. So if we make helmet X smaller, oh, I think that works, but the only problem is it doesn't go all the way to the bottom. Maybe I can just cheat it like this and no one will see or care. So now we have two shapes that are intersecting inside, so that should be good for the helmet. So we have helmet X, and then we have the front mask part. So we'll take both of those and helmet. We'll hide the two that we want to cut. We'll take it off of X-ray. And let's just see how it looks. We'll do a quick save. Let's see what this looks like. So we're just gonna, oh, I keep trying to voxel remesh. Is there a Boolean shortcut? Where are the shortcuts? Is there a Boolean? Oh, the cog. Ah, no, there's no Boolean. That would actually be helpful for when I forget where it is. So it cut out the middle, it made the helmet hollow, and it did that. So I think that worked out fairly well. The helmet I can make a little bit bigger still. And it looks like I might need to stretch it a little. No, that looks all right. So that looks okay. It's like the symmetry I'll have to work on. Like the perspective might help, but I think it's going to be like this. Eventually I'll tilt the I think I'll tilt the skull to match. But all in all, I think it looks fine for a start. So let's put a cylinder inside. But for the cylinder, let's turn smooth shading off, only because for certain things I do like smooth shading off. But usually I prefer it on. Okay, so let's use a hole in the middle, and let's use our controls to sort of make it thinner. Actually, let's kind of fit it snug in here first. It's not perfect, but that's fine. It's because I did so much farting around with the sphere, the helmet. Okay, so let's make it thinner. I gotta figure out how to make it thinner. Is it this little guy? Maybe it is, yeah. Okay, so we'll do it with that. So we'll go ahead and move this up. Okay, so I think maybe something like that will work. And you know what? I do want it to be, I'm glad I didn't validate it, because I want it to be flush up against the inside, so I'm going to make this a little bit wider here. Yeah, there we go. I think that's good. I'll do a quick save. Let's see. What's going on? Bunny and a baguette are a good start. What's up, SS? Cole Van Wyck. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. I'm in SA, so timing is crucial. South Africa. Nice. I'll be traveling to Africa in 2 months, actually. But not South Africa. I'll Be traveling to East Africa. Let's see, if you don't want to send it to Procreate, I have to make the file smaller. I never send things to Procreate. I tried it once in the beginning and I hated it, so I never tried it again. Han, good morning. Yeah, the chat's doing well. Hopefully I'm getting some likes. Hopefully everyone gives the video a like. I really appreciate it. If you can take a moment. So to play with a little quad VR. What's up, Hobby Art? I think it means good job. I think I see good job. Ketchup, I love it. Nice. I would have thought copy and paste the current helmet, make the second one smaller, and cut with it. Yeah. Whenever I try to use the paint tool in Nomad, it's super pixelated, and I don't know how to fix it. Let's see. So if I make a sphere, and I validate it, and I'm just in regular lit PBR. So one reason for super pixelated is it could be that smooth shading is off. If smooth shading is off, you get very pixelated. If you paint it, it's going to be very pixelated. You could try turning smooth shading on. But if you paint, it's still going to be pixelated because it's very small. So you can try voxel remeshing up to like 190. So then it's much more dense. You can take smooth, you can smooth it out, and it'll be real smooth. You can use paint, and it'll be less pixelated. Or you can go here, multi-res, subdivide. That just makes it really dense from the inside out, and it should be less pixelated. If you have to stick to the 6000, the smallest sphere, you can turn on dynamic topology, enable it, and then when you paint, it should be less pixelated. But it adds, it'll get bigger. The size will get bigger the more that you do, because it's sort of voxel remeshing, but it's voxel remeshing only where the tool is going. So hopefully that mini tutorial helped. Okay, so the best way to paint in Nomad is just to paint in Nomad, I think. Bob Ross vibes, I love it. I've been really leaning into that, and I appreciate it too. China. I'd love to go back to Asia. I've only been to Hong Kong. Okay, so what are we gonna do next? There's a lot of cuts. Oh, you know, I'm gonna have to do Boolean for those cuts, because if I don't do it, it's gonna cut all the way through the helmet, and we don't want that. So let's remember I had this hidden, so maybe we can use this now. Oh wait, what happened? Okay, so let's take it off of these. Should be fine now. So if I'm looking at it head on, these are like fairly close. So they're maybe a little bit tilted. And you know what? We'll just make it all the way through the helmet. So we'll do it here, and then maybe we'll clone and a smaller one here. Oh, the only problem is this is nice and round too. I am noticing that. The actual helmet part is nice and round in the middle. That's going to be something that I'll have to work out. But for now, I think it works. Let's rename these so they don't get lost. Melty Cuts X. So let's just clone. We'll put this up so we know it's one of those. So there's a big one over here. Looks like it's about right there. Okay, I'm trying to keep an eye on the reference. But I think this will do the trick. But this one's a little bit bigger, so we'll make that bigger here. I think that feels about right. Maybe a little higher up. Actually, it's about the same height. No, it's a little higher than that. So let's clone this. We'll move this up. Does this go all the way through? I want to make sure it goes all the way through. Doesn't look like it is. Okay, so let's make this longer even. There we go. I want to make sure it's going all the way through the helmet. I think that should work. And there's also one down here. So might as well take this one, clone it, and let's use a line so we can just bring it straight down. Might make it a little bit easier. And let's just get it sort of lined up. Let's take it off of a line now. Okay. Okay, so it's a little bit on the inside of where the end of the helmet goes, so maybe around here. It's quite thick. It goes up pretty high, almost to the top of the helmet, so we'll clone it and then do another one down here. And it looks like they are going all the way through the helmet. Just want to make sure. Okay, so there's also 3 other cylinders. So let's add a cylinder up here. I love resin printing. It's a mess, but I just love the way things look. Like that level of detail is what I'm about. I wonder if I can make this look a bit clearer. Oh, you know what? I am not in Metcap. I feel like it's easier all around to be in Metcap. I completely forgot. So did I already add the cylinder? I did. Let's turn smooth shading off. And let's snap. And we'll just make these little holes. You know what? I'm just going to clone. I'm going to keep this one down here and clone it. Hide that one. I just need an easier way to have things just be small. I find that I don't like taking the time to snap it forward and shrinking it. I know there's a way to like, there's a way to add a primitive and have it kind of be connected to like what you're already working with, but I'm only ever able to do it by accident. So it doesn't really help much. Let's see. I guess I can validate this. Oops. So let's just move it into the place. Something like this. We'll make it a little bit longer. So let's make it match up with the curvature of the helmet. Let's make it smaller. Do they go all the way through? That's the question. Should I make them go all the way through or just like... Because I could make like, they'd be like killer buttons. I don't know what to do here. Let's make them go all the way through, because I can always still make them buttons if I want to. If they go all the way through, it doesn't matter. So, but it kind of makes me want to save these though. That's the only thing. So let's clone it. We'll add another one here. Let's clone this one again. Add another one there. So let's take a look. How close are they? They're pretty close. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So if we're looking at it, can you see the bottom? Let's do a test test Boolean with all these freaking cuts. So not a huge fan of that. I'm sure there's a way to turn it off, but I don't remember. So if I take all these cuts, what is this? That's the skull. Actually, I should start renaming things. Skull main. This is the helmet. These are all cuts. These are all cuts. And helmet. Hide all of these. Let's just see what it looks like. Where is my Boolean? I can never find it anymore. Okay, it's pretty good, actually. I don't like how slanted this is. These holes are pretty good. Smooth shading, let's do off. Oh yeah, it looks better off. But I can do that at the end. Okay, so I didn't like how this is not lined up with the let's find the other one too. Come on, I know you're here. Why are you guys not right next to each other? It makes no sense. Okay, so let's spin these so that they're just going straight through. I think something like that will work better. I think the circles look great. I'm not sure if there's anything else that I wanted to adjust. I think that might have been it. Oh, there is this like weird, like the line through the helmet. That's also quite interesting. Doing thin lines like that are fairly difficult. Anyway, so let's take the helmet and then all of these again. Hide those two. and then just do Boolean. And we'll call that done. Everything else looks good. Okay. So let's save it. Oh, the only other thing I wanted to do, I know, I apologize. There was one other thing I wanted to do is take all of these, clone them, and move this down. And I'm just going to call this buttons helmet, because I feel like I might want to come back and make these buttons for the helmet. So now I think I'm officially good to go. Okay. All right, looks good. We have that ring in. Oh, where's the ring? Where's the ring? What happened to the ring? Oh, we're missing the ring somehow. What in the world happened to it? Did I delete it by accident? No, it's not even here. That's so strange. Isn't it? Or is it just me? I don't know when I deleted it. Yeah, seriously. What's up with that? Alright. Oh good. Am I concise? That's awesome. Because I think it's just stream of consciousness. But I'm glad that it makes sense, because sometimes it, yeah, I feel like I have to be able to wrap my mind around it, or else I won't enjoy it and like be able to figure anything out. Like, and luckily, like, Nomad is like the one application where I feel like, especially sculpting this way, like using Booleans and things like that, my brain just works better because I can see things and move things. I love Blender, but my brain, like, that's like an engineer's brain, and I'm so bad at Blender. Like, I'm decent because I understand like cameras, and I understand, you know, like, I feel like cameras, if you know cameras, that makes Blender a lot easier, at least for what I need, like renders and, you know, lighting and all that stuff makes sense to me, but it's hard to, you can't figure out anything out on your own in Blender. With this, like, I feel like I can just like figure things out and figure more efficient ways to do things out. So it's kind of fun. I save all the time. I'm always saving. Okay, so what's next? Oh, I had to make the new ring, but that's not, you know what? It could be worse. Definitely could be worse. So we'll just pretend that we didn't make a ring before. So we'll do it around like here. It's still not like, it's not perfect, but it is what it is, I guess. Maybe I can squeeze it to match the helmet. See, that's the thing is, oh, it's not even like, it's not even flush. Silly thing. I want it to be flush. Now it's not flush on the sides. Wait, what am I? Oh, perspective. I knew something was off. That's why I don't sculpt in perspective. That is a clear reason why I just don't do it. Because you will always be confused with perspective. Always. That's perspective's job, is to be confusing. That's what it was hired to do in the community. Okay, so it's actually pretty level. Actually looks good. So let's go back to the settings and let's first make it thinner. And then open up the, do I even need to? Yeah. We'll open that up and make it a little more flush. Flush as flush can be. You'll never catch me. What is that from? Fast as fast can be, you never. What is that? Is that the Roadrunner? No, the Roadrunner doesn't speak, does he? Does a Roadrunner speak? Dude, yeah, if anyone knows what happened to the ring, I would be very interested. Yeah, Blender, like literally, I love Blender, but it makes me want to smash my head through my laptop. That's so funny. But who says fast as fast can be? I can't imagine that. I didn't think anyone spoke in those cartoons. Like, I thought it was just all like bang, bang, boom, pow with signs and words. I didn't think anyone spoke. I do remember the meep meep. But someone says fast as fast can be, you'll never catch me. In my brain, I feel like meep meep would be right after that, but that doesn't make sense. He's not even a human. I don't think Sonic. I never saw the movie, so I've never seen Sonic speak, I don't think. He does, right? Alright, let's see. Can't I... What screen is this? Oh, I know what I need to do. Mac screen. There's me. What's up? I have my glasses on. Like a butt monkey. So right now you guys are seeing like the meta of like a camera in a camera, I guess. I've been getting a lot of oopses lately. I don't understand why. Wait a minute. I don't see. Let me turn this volume down for now. Maybe trying to take my money away. I used to watch this so much when I was a kid. I feel like he might say something. I don't know. Yo, he's hungry. Hopefully you guys can see this. Okay, he went meet, but I don't know. I don't feel safe playing this. I don't want to get like a strike or something. Alright, let's go back to Elegoo. Can you make a tutorial on how to make Iron Man? Oh man. If I did, it would probably be a Skillshare class because it would probably take like 15 hours to make Iron Man, I think. But yeah, I mean, if you want to make Iron Man, just make each individual piece. You just have to think of things as pieces, pieces by pieces by pieces, and you can make anything. Fast as fast can be, you'll never catch me. I'll have to look that up on TikTok later. Okay, so we have this part. It looks good. I love it. Let's make sure that we're in orthographic. Good. So this looks like it looks like a sphere. His body looks like definitely a sphere a regular sphere that's stretched. So let's start labeling things too. So what is this cylinder? Oh, this is the inner ring. Let's put helmet, inner ring. So if it disappears, we know that we definitely have it here. It definitely exists at the moment. This mesh is the helmet. And I'm going to save. I save like my life depends on it. So let's add a big O sphere and move it down. We'll make it bigger. And okay, so this is what can be kind of tricky. It's kind of what happened with the helmet, because right now we're seeing like a perspective. So it looks like there's a big curve at the bottom. But what it actually looks like to me is, okay, let's see. How wide is it compared to the helmet? It's smaller than the helmet, so I don't really want the size to go bigger than the helmet. So let's say it is, actually it probably can be a little smaller. It looks like both sides fit inside these lines, so even a little bit smaller. Yeah, that seems like it's pretty good. Let me make it a little bit more stout. So something like that. So the thing is, if I validate this and I take this, or we hit the front and I trim it, like maybe, let's see. Oh, it's tough because it is a little bit bigger. So let me take move with this, and let's turn on, I want all the sides to come out as once. Is it Z? Is it this? Yeah. So we'll just make the whole bottom a little bit wider. Why is it acting so funny? There we go. Okay, I just want to get that kind of shape going where the bottom is definitely wider than the top. I'll make it a little smaller just to keep that size down. We'll take trim. And here's the thing I was talking about. The perspective should do this curve. So if I just trim it normally, let's just go back to regular X. Not that it really makes a big difference, but if I trim it, it looks like it's about there. God, look how bad that looks. Let's see if I turn smooth shading off. Oh, it doesn't matter. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to have to put a hole in it anyway. But if I go like this, then it has that. So I feel like it's just the perspective. You know, I can always drag it down if it looks funny in the final. Why are this trimmed so terribly? It's embarrassing. What are we doing, trim? It's 92K, but I don't care. We'll be able to decimate it later. And it's a little too big. So the arms are also, I think it might be easiest to use, they're all round. They're all round. First we have to get it hollow, I think, which should be easy. So let's just start there. So we have the body. I don't know why I'm naming it, because Nomad crucifies the names anyway. So let's clone it. This one will be body X. So it's body X. We have body and body X. Let's do X-ray on the body X. Make it smaller. Okay, let's stretch it so we can, just so it comes out of the bottom as well. I think that's a good sort of width for the like the inner crust. We'll turn X-ray off, so that's good there. So now we just need a straight cylinder down the middle. So we'll add a straight cylinder down the middle. I'm going to turn smooth shading off. Do I want to validate it now? I guess I can just validate it. Let's move it down first. Let's go with our trusty X-ray again, just because it's fun. So this looks like it goes through both. The size should be pretty good. I might have to make the whole thing smaller, but yeah, I think it's fine. So we'll go ahead and validate that. Cylinder, let's just put an X behind it so I can think about less. So we have body, 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 adi, adi. There's some holes too, and there's some other things too. Should we do those now, or should I just try to use trim? It's tricky. It's tricksy. These might be straight. I might be able to do like all of these too. These looks like they might be straight cuts. But we also have the arms, so I'm not actually sure when I should do the arms. But let's stick with what we got. So we'll hide X and X and do Boolean. Okay, let's turn it off. X-ray. Okay, that should be pretty good. We'll make it a little bit smaller and bring it up. So hopefully when we do perspective, we make it really, really perspective-y. That doesn't really work too well, does it? Unfortunately. I still can't see the... It would have to be like down here and wider. But I might make those adjustments later at some other time. But for now, we'll just leave it in orthographic and do our best. Okay, so for arms, I'm thinking about just using the tube. Maybe the curve tool with torsi. Because there's so many of those these fat tubes, and I think that's the only way to do it. I definitely don't feel like manually putting all those torsi together. Toruses. So what tool do we need? This is the body. And we'll just save it. No going back. I'm going to go back through. Just make sure there's nothing important that I might have missed. I apologize that I'm super hyper-focused, but I'm guessing that you guys probably can understand since you're listening to my literal stream of consciousness. X-ray. X-ray is so great. I'm so glad that they added that. Oh, yours is grayed out? Huh. That's odd. I actually don't know why it would be grayed out. I have no idea. Hopefully someone else knows. Mine has never been grayed out. I'm trying to think of what I could do that could possibly negate the X-ray. Oh, maybe if you're in like a different blending mode? No. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Can you make some Udemy course? I do have Udemy courses. You can see, I think I have like 4 or 5 of them. And you can see them on my, what is it called? My website, drugfreedave.com. Or just go to Udemy and just put in Drugfreedave or Dave Reed. Quoro, appreciate the yapper. Yeah, start your day. I appreciate you swinging by. I'm going to try to do lives way more often. So, yeah, give me a like before you leave if you haven't. I appreciate it. Appreciate the love and appreciate the talking. It's always nice to have a nice, healthy chat. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's get these fat arms in here. I'm thinking I have to use the curve tool somehow, but I hate the curve tool. I truly, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I truly dislike the curve tool. So we'll add a torus, right? We'll add a torus. Let's make it chunky. What time is it? Oh, it's 2:20. Yeah, I probably gotta go to bed too. So we'll make it chunkier, smaller. So something like this. It actually doesn't make a difference about the hole in the middle. So I think that's pretty good. I mean, that's a pretty good match. We'll go a little bit pudgier for now. I think that might be a little good, pretty good match. If not, this will just be a practice run. So I'll validate it. Move it over here. Oh, it kind of feels a little bit big. Okay, so let's see about this stupid curve tool, which I hate. Oh, and also this like, oh, you have to put the things in the middle. Don't like that much. Okay, so the arm is fairly small. I'm looking at the space. So the wrist is kind of close to the bottom of the helmet, so I don't need to. It's just always good to use like those markers like that to know. I gotta twist this thing too. Good, I can twist it. Hopefully it'll work. Oh, let's see. Let's add some of these. Let's make it a little more shallow, maybe. Okay, so it's all a bit big, so we'll make it smaller. We'll move everything a little bit closer to the helmet. The wrist is here, so that's where that ends. The hand is about here, so that's good. The hand isn't straight up, so it's good that it's still in a little bit of a curve. I feel like I need to add another one in here. Maybe even two. I think that's pretty good. It's a little bit, I don't really like all that space there, but I guess it's not that bad. Let's see. There's got to be a way to, oh, I guess that kind of works. Spread it out a little bit. Okay, so size-wise, that looks decent. But looking at this, the body looks a bit big. The body looks a bit big, so I'll make that smaller. It almost looks like, yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. And he does have these things on around his wrist. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do here. Because, like, this is a very perfect... You know what? I think it's fine. I don't think I mind it too much. What happened to my curve tool settings? Oh, let me make sure that I did go back to Elegoo. Sometimes I forget, if I go to my Mac screen, I forget it, and then yeah, well, I have a fat belly, so I'm right there with you. I offend myself sometimes. Oh, but he has more like like cute marshmallow pudgy arms, like a baby, like little baby pudge arms. Even though I guess they're part of a suit, but the suit doesn't have much pudge. Okay, so let's see. Thinking about arm anatomy, I would move them back a bit. Wait, why are you twisting when I move you back? What kind of sense does that make? Chill. Oh, okay. It moves back. And I would tilt it forward. And I might even... Oy, come on. Don't play games with me. Where does this freaking thing keep going? And I might bring this part forward, actually. I think that's better. We'll do a little bit further back, but I think that's better. Okay, so there's also these cool little things around. What's the best way to make that? The best way to make that would be a torus, and then maybe using this to Boolean? Maybe? And it looks like they're equal, so we can do the same on both sides. That helps a lot. Okay, so I think the tube tool actually so far is working out. Do I want to validate it? Should we validate it? I use tube all the time. I like the tube tool for sure. Tube tool is that's like my go-to. But curve, sometimes I can't control the curves in the way that I want. If I have a lag, how did I get so cold? I was so hot before. And then all of a sudden now I'm just like so cold. I'm gonna drink some water. Sindhu. Bossy. Yeah, I do have to make some new Udemy courses. The problem is Skillshare is the most supportive company that I've ever come across. The way that they guide the people that spend a lot of time making classes there, and eventually, if you're doing well, bring you more into the fold and provide guidance and help has been completely unbelievable. I've actually been on Facebook and I saw an ad for Skillshare, and people were like, oh, Skillshare is a scam and this and that, and it's just it's so weird to me to see that. I'm just a normal dude that makes classes for Skillshare. How is it a scam? I have so many students that do my classes and this and that, and it's great. I have a great community on there. I love it. So it's always a little bit. I mean, I get it. Not everyone wants to do a subscription. Maybe someone wants to do a subscription, but they forget to end it, or they don't read it, and then they're get paid for the month. They get charged for the month or something, But I was just kind of I don't know. I back them up. So I went on you probably see it on the post if you're on Facebook. But I'm just I'm a teacher on there, and then I went and replied to some people's things because people kind of write some dumb comments sometimes. Not dumb comments, but sort of absent-minded, not expecting to hear back from someone who might actually be teaching on there, who's just a normal person, where they can say, oh, I can go to this person's profile. They're a regular human. They're hanging out with their family. They don't have spammy stuff on their page. So, I don't know. But I guess people probably think that I'm just that I get paid to defend them on social media, which I don't. I only get paid for minutes watched. Okay, so we do like this. So, yeah, let's just, you know what? Let's just validate, because we can just mirror the arm later. But I don't think I want to add a new arm yet. So we have the arm, and what's the best way to what's the best way to make this thing? So it's two, it looks like two tubes or two toruses, but is that the best way? What if I did something like, what if we did something crazy? Let's just try this. So this will be pudge arm. What if I clone it? Hear me out. What if I clone it? Take trim part of it. Oh, wait a minute. I see some weird lines going on. Trim it. That's better. I don't know what that sound was that I just made. I thought this would be easier. Let's do pivot, center, pivot. Let's see if we can pivot the pivot. Like, let's see if we can like stretch this. So if I put it like straight, can I stretch this a little bit? Okay, so what if I also trim it like this way? This is probably going to be a terrible idea, just FYI. I don't know what I'm doing right now. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. Okay, so what if it actually would be better if this was reversed, because in the drawing the bigger side is like down. Let's pivot and pivot it this way. But hopefully it makes sense, like you can kind of see where my mind, like what my mind is thinking, at least. You know, it's kind of something like this, right? Sort of. Let's trim the front too. Okay. Let's tilt it a little bit. Okay, so let's use pudge arm. We'll clone it, hide it. We'll take this mesh and let's do a quick save. I didn't do anything destructive yet, so I don't mind saving. Boolean, where's Boolean? And what does it look like with smooth shading off? Oh, it doesn't look bad with smooth shading off, actually. It's a little funny. Let's use move and kind of move this out a bit. Ooh. Why am I seeing the back? Alright, this thing needs to be voxel remeshed or something. I changed the back surface to be like green. But I don't know why it's showing. Oh. Ooh. Brother, ooh. What's that? What's that, brother? Zaki CZV, this is Nomad Sculpt. Cyber. Is Cyber someone who asked about it? Or are you asking about it? Oh yes, Cyberboy. Is this a type of Blender software? It is a type of Nomad Sculpt software, Mr. Cyberboy 77. I think it's cool that people can do like stars and other things in their names. I have no idea how to do that with a YouTube name. How does one get rid of these ugly green? Oh, interesting. You know what? I might not even have to trim. Oh no, I'm still seeing some green though. I'm still seeing some green there. Why? I don't necessarily have to trim this. Let's turn smooth shading off again and see what it looks like. I mean, it's actually not too bad. So if I move it now, even without trimming it, if I can just save myself from unnecessary heartache, I will save him. I will save. He will save himself. No, why are you like this, though? That's the part I don't understand. It's like something's wrong with the trim. Let me make sure my trim is not acting crazy. Usually if it does, then it's something to do with validate it. So if I use trim, it's usually something to do with Boolean. Oh, let's see. So if I trim this, no, it's normal. Sometimes these things can be a bit funny. Legacy. Fill's the worst one. I don't understand that one. None. What does none do? Yeah, none makes it open. I guess we'll stick with Boolean. It looks like it's working correctly. But I just don't know why. Oh, you know, I don't really even care that much. Let's make it really big. Let's just voxel remesh it. Boom. I kind of don't like it though. I almost would rather use 2 clean cylinders, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to delete it. I know I did all that work, but I don't care. I think I'd rather just use 2 clean cylinders. They might not be exactly the same, but I think it'll look nicer. So let's move this up and let's do snap. I kind of just want to do it so it's a little more clinical. Clean. Alright, so let's think here. Let's think. It doesn't need to have a hole in the middle. That's one thing. Oh, I know what'll make it easy. Let's do this. Let's clone it and let's do one right behind it. And we can make the back one a little bit longer. That's fine. Okay, so we'll have something like that. And, oh, we still have to trim it, don't I? I still have to... let me think. So it has this weird thing here. Not even sure how I would make that. But I don't think I have to figure out everything right now. So let's take both of these and just move it to the area. Or do I want to cut it first? Maybe I want to cut it first. How far is it going around his arm? That's the question. I think that's what's like kind of holding me up. So let's just make it half. Do I have to trim one at a time? I don't really feel like it. Okay, so for these, I'm going to do post subdivision up, and I'm going to bring this down to 24. Post subdivision up to 2, bring it down to 24. This is just going to make it round. It feels like it's round. So that'll just make it round. I'll validate both of them. And should I just bring them together? I'll bring them together like this. So we have that break in the center. let's see. We'll take trim. I think at this point in time, oh, we could join them, but do I want to join them? Yeah, I'll join them. I can always separate them later. I'll trim the bottom like so. We'll take the gizmo. I don't know, let's just move it to the area and see what it looks like. Here looks like it needs to be a little bit bigger. That's fine, I can do that. We'll go ahead and stretch it. Okay, something like this. But it's turned a bit more. I probably should have cut a little bit less, maybe. Right? I can't, it's hard to tell, but I could always make something else over here, to be honest. I'll just put like a square or something over there. But I just want to concentrate on this side for now, I believe. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. I might want to, let's take round edge. Does it do it both at the same time? Oh no, it keeps that separation, so I think that's good. And I kind of like that it looks like it's connected to the outfit. The only thing is, do I want it to turn it a little bit more? I think I have to. So we'll turn it a little bit more. So now I can see it there. I think that works better. Let's take another cylinder and move it. I'm just going to do some really quick work here. So this can just be, let's just validate it, and then we'll just smooth it. Or we'll just use round edge on it. Should be pretty small. So we'll move it to the vicinity of the new home. A little bit smaller. Looks like it's right in the middle there. Okay, that looks good. I like it. And then we can use crease or something for, oh, it's on both sides. Do I want to do it now? Maybe I'll do it later. But I think that might be a nice just little crease option. Let's try it. So if I go to, where is crease? Where is my crease? Oh, I had one subject in the scene. Oh, I almost said that. I remember almost thinking it. Happy little accidents. I love them. Nickelodeon slime. I don't know how that came into the conversation. I missed it, but I remember when I was younger going to the Nickelodeon studios in Florida. It's good times. Christopher Smith, I appreciate the kind words. Dave, I love your teaching methods. Good. I'm glad to inspire, because I'm like constantly inspired every day, like on Instagram, real life, like other artists. And anytime I see artwork that I love, I screenshot it. I'm always screenshotting and saving things that I find like beautiful, like artwork that I find beautiful. I just screenshot it. I screenshot it, and you know, like I screenshotted this. I have some other ones by this artist that I screenshotted a long time ago. But yeah, I just there's just certain things. I've always felt that if you think something is beautiful, like a piece of artwork, then for me, I want to figure out what it is that's beautiful. Like figure out why I find it beautiful. Is it the colors? Is it the what is it when you, the way things are laid out? I can't remember the word. But that, is it the how things are laid out? You know, like what is it that makes it beautiful? But that's one of the big benefits of also doing things like this. This is the cuff button. This is the, this is the cuff button. But every time I do artwork like this, it just, this is just the cuff. You just get better. Especially when you can't, like I love doodling, I love making cool characters, but it's also nice to have like a parameters, because then you're like forced to really problem solve, and you can't just use the things that are like, you kind of know you can do. Okay, we'll make that nice and straight. I like it. Oh, and also, you know what? It's kind of going up to the very end. So we'll do something like that. I'll buy that. I cannot wait to make these things. I guess I can make them now. The hand is going to be a bit more difficult. But I'm also just kind of going to do my own thing for the hand. Oh, what do I want to start with though? Oh, I think just a. Ooh, this is tough. This is tough. I think it has to be a. I think it has to be a sphere. Right? I think it has to be a sphere, kind of like this, maybe flattened a little bit. Whenever you're near me, something is. I gotta check my comments. I don't think anyone said anything about me singing in my last video. Not like, I mean, not just like, not that I'm like a singer, but I was just singing just like for fun. But I thought I was gonna say something about it, but I didn't. I don't think. Okay, so let's make this hand. It's decent, decent, decent. Make it a little bit smaller here. Okay. And maybe we'll stretch out the bottom of this sphere so it's a little straighter. Yeah. I think that looks good. I like the back of the hand, but we want to make sure that we cover this. Not cover, but we definitely don't want it showing in the back of the hand. I also don't want the hand that wide. So I kind of like that. It's sort of like a nice little mitten. And then we can do the very hard job of adding fingers. Always very difficult. Easier with sphere and the sphere tricks. Not sphere, tube. Excuse me. So we'll just rough this real quick. So if we have Oh God, I keep forgetting this. Okay, something like that. I say that so much in my tutorials, and like I'm so aware of it when I'm editing my tutorials. I have Discord, but I wouldn't say that I have a Discord community. Because I feel like I don't use it. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it would be cool, but I'm not sure where I could fit in, like, time to devote to it, I think. Like, I like doing lives here, but can you do lives on, like, Discord? I mean, maybe you can, but I'm not, like, I feel I would have to, like, figure that out, I guess. Like, figure all that out. So I don't know. I have a Discord, but I don't really, like, use it much. I would have used a cube and smoothed it out for the palm. Would that have been more? No, I don't think it would have been more difficult. I just feel as though when I look at the artwork, everything is kind of everything is sort of round and spherical. If I'm doing a normal hand, I usually use a. Oh, actually, I use a cylinder on the side. I usually don't use just a regular square. I find that I use a cylinder and I'll kind of square it off, so it's like a, what is it called? A squircle. So I'll use a cylinder and maybe make it into, but I usually don't use just a regular square. I will use them for fingers though. Okay, I can't remember. What's the guy? I can't remember the other YouTuber that does Nomad Sculpt stuff. I've been trying to do tubes the way that he does tubes. I think he does this and then like brings this down. It's like sort of the opposite of what I do. But I can't get it again, so I must be forgetting something. I wish I had more control over these things when they're like smaller. Because they... Well, let me put radius. Let's just do all of them. Can I make... No, see? Butt monkey. It's hard to get right. It's like so close, but not. Because if I could make this bigger, the bottom part of the thumb, as I do it. What if I add another node? No, don't do that. Butt monkey. I don't like it. I wish I had more control over these things. I don't think let's see. I don't think that makes any difference, so I'll put that back down. If I add more geometry, it just gets so ugly. You know? But maybe I can just make it smaller. God, and there's no way to like make it more round. It would make my life so much easier if I could control you better. Han, thank you so much for swinging by. I always appreciate it. And maybe, actually, I don't. I might be able to go live again in the morning. So maybe you'll see me on again in the daytime, but we'll see. But actually, I do think I need to go to bed as well. But I want to figure out what am I gonna do with this thumb? What am I gonna do with this thumb? Oh God, look at this. It's like so bad. Because I kind of want to keep it like, I don't know. I don't think profile is going to help me, really. Can I make it like round? I feel like it might actually be a little helpful. I can't even see which ones these things are connected to. I can't make that bigger. I mean, that's actually doable. This actually isn't too bad. It's not perfect, but it's actually not too bad. So before I get annoyed, I'm just going to validate it and see if I can just do anything with it manually. Like maybe just, oh, you know what? Let's look at it. Let's look at it in the front. Okay, so this is good. In the front, it would be straight. Straight. This would be nice and round. Let's see if I can smooth it. Maybe to get it like nice and round. Is it even smoothing? Are you even smoothing, bro? Alright, let's try drag. Ugh, but it drags the other part. It's so annoying. I don't really like it. I don't really dig it. So here's what we'll do. We'll just add, usually I can make anything with a sphere, so let's try that, because it's bedtime. Usually I use this for the palm anyway. I use like a sphere for the palm. Just makes sense. All right, let's get this in there. Let's get it inside there. That's weird to say. Sorry. Okay, so let's validate. Yeah, we can validate this. And we'll just pull this up a smidge. I mean, I think that looks better already. There's a little thumb pack. Clone. And let's just make any old kind of thumb for now. We'll just kind of place it. And then we'll just use move and make 2 become 1. Some of you are remembering the popular song right now. Did anyone see the circle when the Spice Girls, when Scary Spice and Baby Spice were on it? We enjoyed it. Okay, I think that's good, actually. I think I like that. I think that's much, much better. Maybe I can throw in these other tubes real quick, even if just as like place keepers. And he actually has 5 fingers too. I usually frown upon 5 fingers. So this finger is like, nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh, I gotta turn off snap. I was wondering why I was acting a fool. All right, let's look in the front. Okay, so the finger would be more here, kind of curved a little bit, maybe a little bit thicker. And we should be able to get some roundness. Shouldn't give us too many issues, I don't think. Of course it does. Okay, I like that. Let's move it back a little bit. And let's clone it and just, hopefully we can make the other fingers out of this. Hide that one for now. I'll probably forget that I made it. Wait, I know we can get this a little more sausage-like. We've got to be able to get it a little more sausage-like. And have a little more control. Unless I should just... Ooh. There is a method to the madness. That looks much better. Right? I think that looks much better. I would like it a smidge rounder, but I think that might be the best that I can do. Okay, let's take a look at this one. So these are bent. Let's see if we can do the other, kind of similar to what we did. Try to get this little pudgy finger curled over. It's actually not too bad. Okay, of course this finger needs to be pretty much married up to the other one. So it looks a little bit more natural. Okay, so let's take a look at this. It's not bad. But it shouldn't be touching the thumb. I don't think, oh, but actually there's a little bit of, this should be up a little bit more, shouldn't it? Okay, so I have to look at it from multiple different angles just to kind of make sure that I like that. We'll definitely have to fix this thumb. I'll make that a little smaller for now. Okay, let's take this and just clone it. It's definitely bedtime. Once I start getting quiet, put bro right to bed. Do not pass go right to bed. But one more finger, it better have cloned. It did. Pinky I always make smaller because it just feels right. What is a pinky if not smaller? Okay, this pivot, why would you do me like that? Thank you. So we'll pivot this. I'll probably do the thumb the same way too. I don't think the thumb has to match the drawings. I don't necessarily even like the way the thumb is in the drawing. So I'll probably have to figure out a new way to do the thumb for sure. But for now, let's go ahead and solidify this little pinky in there. Push this back down a little bit. Fingers are so difficult to get like right and looking good. So hands are going to take some work, but not too bad. I think I like them so far. I don't know why this finger looks just like so huge. Okay, so that looks a bit better. So pretty good for now. Pretty good for now. Let's hit save. I don't know when the last time I saved. But I think that's pretty good. I'll go ahead and I have to make a thumbnail, so I'm going to just put on post-process really quick. Can I get rid of all this other nonsense? Can I get rid of the gizmo, please? Just in the way. Okay, so this is a good for I'll just do the screen. So at least I'll be able to make a little thing tomorrow. The thumb, I just did spheres. I didn't use the tube, but tomorrow I'll probably try the tube again, but I might not make it exactly like the drawing because I'm not crazy about those thumbs. Discord is the new nightclub. I love it. Yeah, but yeah, I think this is a good place to pause. I think I made a lot of headway, and I got to work out these fingers. I'm really looking forward to these little like electronic things. I really like making little soft, cute electronic instruments. I have like such a good time making those, so that'll be fun. I'll make those tomorrow. I'll probably be up at do I have to move my car? I guess I could move my car. I don't know. I'll be live tomorrow, and we will continue this. So make sure you guys give me a like if you're watching. I appreciate it. Thanks to everyone for hanging out in the chat. I appreciate all the conversation. You guys are all great, and it just makes me want to do more and more lives. And it actually saves me from doing a ton of editing, except for when I have to speed this up to make one of my little time lapses. But anyway, thanks again. Shout out to you, Cole, especially for bringing some sanity back in my life and figuring out the smooth shading. Sometimes it's always like the little tiniest things that you just like overlook. So it's cool that we can like figure that stuff out. Thanks, Zackies. Thanks, Cole. Thanks, Sketchnificent. Han's already gone. Mip. I will look into Discord and maybe try to, like, I don't know what to do there. So maybe tomorrow you can or comment on this video and just let me know what I should do, and if I can go live, and what value I can bring over on Discord, because I'm always open. All right, keep drawing, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next live video. I don't know why I said it so like Steve.